Joining us now on this 4th of July holiday week, Roland Martin. How's it going, Roland?
Can you hear me?
Got you, buddy. Got you.
All right. Glad to be here. All right, got Skip. Who else is there?
Got Madeline Woods and Guy Torrey.
All right, Madeline Woods and Little One. Yeah. All right, glad to be here.
Rolling already.
Hey, you stay in your neck of the woods.
What? I'm sorry. If only you could reach my neck. All right.
If only if you had a neck.
I do. If only you had some platform shoes. All right.
Then I can reach in there, no neck.
Nice try.
What up, Ro?
Nice try. All good. Little cricket. All right, let's get right to it. I told y'all do not trust the Republicans in Florida. They would do all they could to screw the folks who do not have the right to vote. Remember, Amendment 4 passed in November, and folks were excited. Upwards of 1.4 million people could have the right to vote. This was a 10-year effort by folks like Desmond Meade. Of course, he is the executive director of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. They, of course, went all around the state. More than 65% of voters passed Amendment 4, changing the state constitution, allowing the formerly incarcerated to be able to vote. Mm-hmm. Republicans said, ain't no way in hell we gonna let those folks all of a sudden change the state's politics. So what did they do? They passed a law that essentially slaps a poll tax on them. Governor Ron DeSantis signed it into law, saying they must pay back all fines and penalties before they get the right to vote. Joining us right now is Desmond Meade of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Desmond, how you doing?
I'm fine, Roland. Thank you for having me on this morning.
Well, Republicans did exactly what I thought, and that is said to hell with the voters. We're going to still make it difficult for these folks to vote.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say impossible, Roland. You've been on top of this from day one, man. But where others see obstacles, we at Florida Rights Restoration Coalition see opportunities, and so we're moving forward. We're excited about the plans that we have ahead.
Now, first, the ACLU, the Brennan Center, and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, they have filed a lawsuit to fight this law signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis. Is your organization also a part of that lawsuit?
No, we're not a part of that lawsuit, Roland. We're concentrating on the people first. We're putting people over politics. And so what we've done is that we've been concentrating on how we can use some provisions within the law to waive those fines and fees. And we also have launched a campaign to raise funds to help people who are facing financial difficulties pay those fines and fees off so they can register to vote.
So the first question for you, are you planning on filing your own lawsuit? And if not, why?
Well, we're going to wait and let the dust settle. We're going to try to work the processes that we have out and see what happens there. And then if need be, we will be filing a lawsuit. But for right now, what we want to do is just concentrate on the people. We have over 840,000 of the 1.4 million who would not be impacted by the fines and fees. And so we're going to get those people registered as soon as possible. And then the other 500 and something thousand people who will be impacted, like I said, we're raising money to actually help them pay their fines and fees.
Do you have an indication of how much is owed of that 500,000 people? Is it 5, 10, 20, 30 million? How much do you have any indication of what that potentially could be?
Well, that total number, Roland, is varied. It's very difficult for us or even the state to determine the total amount of money that's owed. But we did a preliminary study in a couple of the counties, and what we're seeing is an average of around $800 to $1,200 per person. But that number, like I said, it varies throughout the state. But we're moving forward at Roland. And matter of fact, I want to tell all the listeners of the Tom Joyner Morning Show that they can text fees to 82623. Text fees to 82623 to help us get these fines and fees taken care of so people can register to vote.
82623 and text fees, FEES.
Yes, sir. And we're
Surely, though, Desmond, this has to be bothersome to you, putting in a decade's worth of work, and to see Republicans play games here. Folks who are against this bill are calling it a modern-day poll tax.
Yeah, well, of course, it always concerns us when, it's hard for a person to be able to register to vote, particularly returning citizens. All right. But, we're really looking at the opportunities that we have, because within that provision, it allows now the courts to get involved and go as far back as they want to go. And they could identify these individuals and waive their fines and fees or turn them into community service hours. And so we already have courts in at least 4 districts, judicial districts in the state of Florida, Dade County, Hillsborough County, Orange County, that's going to be hosting these fines and fees waiver clinics so folks can get their fines and fees waived. So we're very optimistic that we can take these lemons and make a whole bunch of lemonade for folks.
Does this also, I know other people have reached out to you about potentially doing this in their own state as well. Are people also paying attention to this to realize how Republicans would respond, and so that may alter how the approach of trying to get a ballot initiative in their state to be crystal clear as possible, as opposed to Republicans trying to thread this needle and attack the law this way?
Yes, well, there's folks in California that's working on an initiative right now that would let people vote, I believe, while they're in prison. There are folks in Wisconsin who are leading a ballot initiative that would allow people to vote as soon as they're released from prison, even if they're on probation or parole. And so throughout the different states, there are people doing, like say, a lot of approaches, and they are wary of opposition and some of these tricks that you've been seeing. But we're moving forward, and we're happy with the opportunities that we have before us.
You have a text number. Where else can folks go to help pay these fees? Where else can they go?
Yeah, they could also call 1-877-MY-VOTE-0 or go to wegotthevote.org. Wegotthevote.org.
And what's that number again? 1-877?
1-877-MY-VOTE-0.
All right. Desmond Meade, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
All right, appreciate you, Roland.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Brother Meade. Thank you, Roland Martin. Appreciate you.
Don't trust those Republicans in Florida.
Yeah, man. And that text number was 82623.
23. 82623, text fees, FEES.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Holla at you
Thanks,
again soon.
Appreciate it.